Hey guys, Lucid. We've got a new turn here for Xibalba. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of read this. The problem is when I recorded this, the audio didn't work. So, um, anyway, we have a message from Niflheim, and basically he's saying there's some Bane Venom charms in his territory. And he says, yeah, Wolven Winter is some bullshit. I'm going to do my best to kind of summarize what's going on, but of course this happened a while ago when I recorded this. But we're getting Banes here, and the idea behind Banes is we're going to equip them with Swords of Sharpness, Great Swords of Sharpness, two-handed weapons, and they're going to chop down these giants, which otherwise we're going to struggle killing. Because they're going to do a shit ton of damage to those giants. Kaelasa is also bankrolling us a little bit, sent us a Sword of Sharpness. Going to be sending us some other gear in the future, too. We've got a battle here where we're just going to get murdered, so there's no point even watching it. We got a battle here with Hinnom, because Hinnom has, of course, jumped in on the great feast of Xibalba. And he's moving a big fucking scary army with a shit ton of Dawn Guards. They have a few Avites, so there's an Earth one and a Nature one. The Earth one is probably going to be doing Strength of Giants and stuff. The Nature one, I'm guessing, is Wooden Warriors, but it could also be fluffing. So anyway, that's what's going on there. We are going to be breaking siege, and I'm going to be pulling Airbody. We're going to be bringing a shit ton of mages. We are going to be casting a shit ton of stuff, and we are going to be having a big battle outside the fort. And we're also going to be assassinating some motherfuckers, and hopefully that works. We sent our god inside this fort to defend against Niflheim, and I didn't test this extensively because at this point, I'd kind of given up a little bit. Like, I don't know. So we're hoping this works, but again, I'm not terribly sure how it's actually going to go. We can see they're killing everybody else. I think we've cast Elemental Fortitude, so I should have some frost resistance, but I don't think I have enough to deal with Coldara. But we'll see how that ends up going. We're spamming Panic, which is one of the worst spells to spam anyway. If I had the AI mod, improved AI casting on, we'd probably do a better job at casting useful things. But like Panic does fucking nothing. But fortunately, we have the Shadow Brand, which is what's doing all the work here, and it's killing these guys. Unfortunately, the Neefel Jarl is about to arrive, and he is much more killy than these giants. And he's quickened, so you can see the damage I'm taking is dramatically increasing. And so now we're fatigued out with this Jarl going crazy, and we're going to get more fatigued out because the little chip damage from the Coldaras is wrecking us, even though we have a little bit of cold resistance. And now there's, like, I think if we were awake, so I think it would have been okay. But really, if I had a Frost Brand, which I really wanted, but I couldn't get because I didn't have a Frost Mage, and I hadn't traded for one yet, but I could have, theoretically. If I did, which I was trying to get, I think I would have actually won that, because that would have given me +5 cold resistance. But anyway. There was a chance at one. You saw we would have killed Infinite Giants, but it was just that super combatant that got us. But we needed that Agartha capital if we were going to make it. So anyway, right now we've given up that Agartha land, and we're not going to be getting it back anytime soon. Hinnom has been raiding the shit out of us, and so now the real question is, how do we break this siege? And we're going to be bringing people from everywhere, which is one of the great strengths of Xibalba, is force concentration. You can even force concentrate out of forts which are siege. So some of these guys are coming out of forts which were siege. We're putting everybody in a big communion, and we're going to be spamming the shit out of Horde of Skeletons and Summon Imps and all sorts of things. And so hopefully that fucking works. So yeah, that's basically it. If we look at it, we've got, I don't know, we probably are counting Sabbath slaves here. I'm trying to remember what I was saying. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Thing is, I don't even have the old turns with the old move orders for me to come back in. But if we take a look at the assassins too, so that's what I'm talking about, who I'm going to assassinate. There's a good chance I get the Milkwood. There's also a good chance I get some of the fluffers, which would be really nice for the army. If we look at the assassins I've got, they're pretty scary. We've got... oh, it looks like I put another black heart on somebody. But yeah, we've got some really scary assassin gear. Not totally sure what I'm doing right now. Yeah, if we look at it, looks like I have about 10 Sabbath slaves and then probably about 10 Sabbath masters. What I've done is my death randoms, I've given them Horde of Skeletons, Reinvigoration, Horde of Skeletons. And they're going to make like the first wave. But they're going to be less efficient over the long term, but they're going to get me more skeletons at the beginning. And then my other dudes, like my blood mages, they're going to be joining the Sabbath communion, and they'll be getting +3 from 8+ slaves. So they'll be doing Sabbath Master, knocking out their reinvigoration, and then doing Horde of Skeletons. We're going to make a few fire elementals. I don't see much imp summoning, so not much imp summoning. And then we have our big dude who's going to be doing summon earth power and then Horde of Skeletons. We've got one nature mage, which is putting personal regen on the communion, which is really important. And he's also going to be doing invulnerability on the communion slaves, also very nice. So these are all pretty good. Ideally, I would have gotten like darkness or something up, but I just don't have it. So we're these are desperate times. My mages I would rather have them researching, but we're pulling everybody. So I'm not sure what I'm talking about here. It looks like I'm obsessing over some details. Probably who knows what I'm doing? Counting, I'm talking. Most of my guys I have gone guard commander too. So ideally, the way the placement works is my mages are going to get placed first, and then it's going to it's going to spawn the units second, and then it'll put them on guard commander, so they'll cluster around the mages. So we're going to have this dense mage core, and then all these guys will form like an outer ring around the mages, which will hopefully protect them from the incoming giant idiots. I think I have Drain Life research too, so potentially they may cast that off script. I can't remember if I have that researched at this point. But like the fire elementals, those should do okay, but the Dawn Guard have magic weapons, so the fire elementals, limited mileage. And so now what I want is I want to have them stop out here. Like I don't want them getting in too close, because I'm worried if they get in close, then the AI is going to cast stupid shit. Because I think at this point we've already experienced some of the stupid AI shit. Which is the main reason for having these death randoms do the Horde of Skeletons first rather than joining the communion. The other thing about having the death randoms join the communion is actually I think they will cause more fatigue to the slaves because they're higher magic paths. So I think this is the right use of the death randoms. This guy's doing summon earth power for the communion, which is going to be nice. I'm not sure what else is happening here. Spending a lot of time talking about this battle. It's a really important battle. I mean, he's about to take this fort. If he takes this fort, I'm in real trouble. Not only am I yielding like permanent ground to Hinnom, which I'm probably not going to get back since... I mean, the other thing is I'm fighting, like, now that I've lost Agartha, I'm a one capital nation, and I'm fighting two capital nations with all their attention. They're not engaged in any other wars. So it's kind of like 1v4. In terms of power, and they're bad matchups for me, kind of. I mean, later in the game, once I have a lot of the giant killing stuff, there's things I can do, but right now, Melkorts are kind of hard to deal with. Break the First Soul is really hard to get it to cast. And then the cold fucks over all my mages, which is kind of the strategy I was going for. So, yeah, the other thing is I've been so desperate to get the assassination gear out, because I'm like, if I can out-assassinate them, then... then things will go better. But that's meant I haven't been able to get Aussies. And I researched blood so I could get Aussies out. But I can't do assassin gear and Aussies at the same time. But like my assassins potentially can even kill Melkorts. And they can kill Jarls. So they are one of my answers to the giants. So anyway, that's at least how we're thinking about it. And whether it works or not, we'll see. But Kailasa's down there, and Kailasa has basically been eating most of Van. And I'm hoping they might kind of help because they've been bankrolling me, but they're probably just happy to have me get fucking wrecked. But they don't want me to get fucking wrecked so hard that the giants... Oops, sorry, I hit the mic. So that the giants get really big and scary. Because, like, what they probably don't want is Hinnom to be a 3-capital nation. That would be pretty scary. So anyway, we are going to do our best to defend. And right now, I wouldn't say our dreams are completely crushed, but they're mostly crushed. Like, losing Agartha was really bad for us. And then Hinnom with Melkorts literally everywhere. Like, I can't have a blood economy outside a fort, because all my blood hunters are going to get killed by teleporting Melkorts. I don't have Leech or any of the things which are going to be good against Melkorts researched yet. And it's going to be a long time till I get it researched, because I'm having to do desperate shit like this, where I'm moving all of my dudes. Now, what I just had pulled up were my Bane thugs, and I don't know where they're going. Okay, the turn's about to host, so we'll see how it goes. And it looks like we're going to get to live, we're going to live this together. So I'll be reacting to the battle. Okay, we have a message. I know I read this at the time. Oh, baby, you're the only thing in this world that's pure and good and right. And wherever you are, wherever you go, there's always going to be some light. But I got to get out. I got to break it out now, before the final crack of dawn. So we got to make the most of this one night together. When it's over, we'll both be so alone. Like a bat out of hell, I'll be gone when the morning comes. Michael Jackson. Okay. We do some corpseman constructs. We get some blood slaves. Assassination attempt numero uno. We got a priest. Easy pickings. Okay. Next. We got an... this is an Ami, not an Akka. And that's going to be easy. This one casts very useful things like Iron Skin and Temper Flesh, which I would say they delay the inevitable, but it doesn't matter much to me whether he dies in 1 turn in the assassination or 2 or 3, because it's only 1 turn in game time. And then this guy with the Lantern Shield, getwrecked.com. Okay, I'm sorry you like having mages. I do not. We assassinate another Avid commander. The thing with Aussies, which is what I would kind of want, is like assassins, you don't need a critical mass of assassins to necessarily work. Like these guys are doing real damage. They're fucking up all his troop movement. They're going to make these guys not do buffs. Like this was a super combatant that was going to be present in the battle. I think actually this one is going to have a replay bug. We've got him with decay, so he's getting decayed. And okay, we've hit him with we've got firebolas we're shooting at him. So every turn we hit him with firebolas, he's not able to kill imps. And he also takes a little bit of damage, but he's got regen. Yeah, he has regen, so he's slowly just inching his way closer. And so with the replay bug, we're actually not going to kill him. Now, this is very rare that a super combatant is going to survive this. And then our guy ends up moving forward, because I think he ran out of ammo. So anyway, but it was because he had 2 Frostbrands, which is a kind of weird kit. But if we actually look at the replay, I mean the battle report, which I think we do. Well, I think we'll do it in a minute. I think that guy actually died. Which I think what happened is he failed a defense check and died. I mean, a morale check and died. And then here, he sent this idiot on top of my blood hunters, which is why you can't fucking blood hunt. Are we going to kill him? There's no way we're going to kill him. We almost killed him, though. That's why you script imps. Imps almost kill them. They have very high attack density. I think we did even Rush of Strength, or Bloodlust or whatever, which is going to make the imps more killy. But we didn't quite do it. We got them down to 20. Some more Melkort fuckery. And remember, this is a 2-capital Melkort. I mean, 2-capital Hinnom we're fighting. And he's also doing Magic Phase, Call the Winds and stuff, because apparently he has a shit ton of air gems he doesn't know how to spend. And so here's the big battle. This is what you've been waiting for. So this is going to be pretty important. Sabbath forms up. We've got our Beast Bats on Guard Commander. Some of these guys fly in the back. They're not going to do much, though. They may kill some Blood Slaves. Our guy who I think we positioned on the front somehow summoned a Fire Elemental on the back, which is probably just going to burninate our own dudes, which we're not very stoked about. The huge army of Hinnom. I think they were blobbed up mostly for buffing because he wanted to get Wooden Warriors and Legions of Steel and Strength of Giants on all of them, but I think we've killed a lot of his commanders. That's Fire Elemental, goddammit. Is that our Fire Elemental or theirs? Okay, the Fire Elementals made it around the side, so that's good. We've got just a stream of skeletons coming out, but this is when the script ends, because I've scripted them to do skeletons, and that's what you see. If you look on the left, though, you'll see a lot of Frighten casting, which is the game, it's basically game speak for fuck you. And it's not fuck you to the enemy, it is fuck you to the player. Because these mages are basically, every time they cast Frighten, they're basically doing nothing. Like, we should be making 60 skeletons a turn, more than they can kill. And that was like some of the calculus I did last turn, which was probably what I forgot I was talking about, like when I saw me clicking around and counting and all this. I was figuring out about how big the front would be and about how many skeletons they would kill and about how many I need to make a turn, and that was like seeing if I thought the Skelly Spam strategy was going to work. But apparently that doesn't matter if all you fucking cast is Frighten. So anyway, they've pushed forward because we haven't made any more skeletons, and they're now killing mages. They've made it to the mage core, but then apparently we do scare them off and they run. So they killed a fair amount of mages just through melee, but we did scare them off. If we look at the final battle toll, well, this isn't it. That was a different. Oh no, this is it. We killed a lot of stuff. We killed 74 dudes and we lost 7 guys. So it went better, and some of that had to do with you know, having enough skeletons early to keep them away, so that we were more likely to get a few Frighten casts, and we just brought so many fucking mages. But you know, if they were casting the right things, obviously it would have been a lot better. This is one of the things, by the way, that we fix in the AI mod. This is my future self talking. I don't think I had made the mod at the point in the game. But this was certainly one of the things that inspired me to devote enough time to it, because you have like all these really useful mages that cast unuseful things. It's very frustrating. And so, if you look at my land, it's not looking very much like Xibalba anymore. It's looking more like Hinnom. But we just won a major battle. His army's shattered, and it's now split up all over my lands. So what we're going to do, well, we're looking at this particular Melkor, see how we're going to defeat it. It's got a Vine Shield, Ring of Regen, the Air Armor, which one of the better kind of high stat armors, though expensive. I don't know if at some point we're going to talk Kaelasa into mind. We're going to pay him to mind hunt some of these guys for us. And Mind Hunt's anonymous, and it's going to be my gems. It's going to be Kaelasa casting it. So, anyway, he's agreed to do that because he can see I'm clearly losing this 2v1. I normally feel more comfortable in 2v1s, but here I went for like a not terribly greedy strategy in the sense of like, well, I don't know. No, maybe it was greedy because I was relying on my mages, which normally are going to be good, but they're not great against giant nations this early. They're okay. And I think I could have handled one of these guys 2v1, except maybe Niflheim, because fucking Wolven Winter. It's cold 3, even in all my fucking provinces. But anyway. I think I could have handled Hinnom 1v1. But Niflheim was bad, and then both of them is going to be really rough. So anyway, he's happy. He knows I'm going to put up a fight, and I'm actually kind of... I do not want to be seen as food, and so I'm going to put up a very strong fight. And my goal in this game is shifting from like trying to make a play at winning to making sure Niflheim and Hinnom lose. So anyway, we've got our assassins. What am I doing? We've got their Bane Venom guy who's moving around. I want to move him to Nifl's capital, but we'll just zip him around to random provinces. We've got 2 of them floating around. This is what I should have done at the beginning of the game. I should have taken these heroes and I should have immediately moved them to Niflheim. Because fuck Niflheim. They counter me in a lot of ways. if I use skeletons and if I get a critical mass of Aussies and I have the cold resistance blessed for them, we can deal with their giants. But they got me before I got to that point. So, such is life. But anyway, they're just a bad matchup for me. And I think, you know, looking at it, I didn't want to piss them off at the beginning, but a smart player will realize an advantage and take advantage of it. So I probably should have just Bane Venom Charmed them from the beginning with my heroes. They've got to be somewhere, and I can't think of a better place than Niflheim. So anyway, if I were to do it again, fuck Niflheim. I just start doing it right from the beginning and deny Bane Venom Charming them probably. Should be like, oh, my heroes are just scouting. I don't want them in my land. And then they'll be like, get them out or we'll declare war. And I'll be like, fine, let's have war. Because, I mean, they're going to do it anyway. Or maybe I would take them out, but only if they weren't going to war me. Like, do a very long nap. And then I get some turns of Bane Venom Charm on their capital. I make them build a bunch of useless chaff. I don't know. Try to patrol it out. Because Niflheim can't patrol terribly well. What am I looking at? Okay, so we had a big victory here. We're going to look to try to kill some of these isolated Dawn Guard. Because we routed a bunch of his army, but we only killed about half of it. So, you know, the question is going to be, where do we put our assassins? Or where do we put our units? So that we can pick off a large portion of the routed army. We also turned most of our Earth Gems into ogres. So, those are going to be decent at smashing Melkorts. But not great. They have low MR, so the Vine Shield will kind of fuck them. But we've also got our Banes who are going to be moving around. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing this turn. I've got to make a decision whether I attack there or not. I'm not sure whether I will. But we're probably going to break the fort. There's a Melkort on top. But anyway, things are not looking up, but we have crushed the Hinnom army. And one of the things I'm doing is I'm advertising all the major victories I have in all chat, which I think if you're the losing force, if you're winning, you don't really want to do, but if you're losing, you kind of do.